Tyler,
Gene.
thank you for taking a few minutes today to work through some rapid fire, frequently asked questions. Let's start with something lighthearted, mate. Tell me
sure.
a little bit about your most memorable sale.
What comes to mind, about a year ago, I had a property for sale in the south. The owner had purchased it 2 years prior for about $600,000. 3 days into the campaign, we started receiving some very aggressive handwritten letters from the previous owner. Now, she was threatening to sabotage the campaign. We didn't think too much of it, and she showed up to the open home and she was making a big scene in front of a lot of the other buyers. No. Long story short, we had to report her to the police. And about 3 days after that, we ended up selling the property for $870,000. So it was a nice, $270,000 win for the owner, which was great. What forecast do you have for the Sydney apartment market in the next 6 months?
Tyler, I don't think anyone's in a position to make any forecasts or predictions on where the market's heading, but look, there's a few factors that lead me to have a really optimistic outlook.
Yeah, sure.
So our population's growing through immigration and international students, and coupled with a trend where we're seeing businesses call staff back to the office, which means return to the city. So we're going to see a continued shortage of supply through increased competition. Rental yields are now at the highest point they've been in 15 years.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a strong return of investors to the market.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Inflation is falling.
Yeah.
And we've already started the conversation around interest rate cuts. Spring's just around the corner.
That's right.
Which is historically the strongest market throughout the year.
Yep.
So I'm leaning on these factors, and all I know is it's going to be a very busy back end of the year.
Let's hope so.
Good luck with this one. It's the age-old question.
Yep.
Should I sell by auction or by private treaty?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I don't think it's a black or white question. You've got to look at the location of the property, the price point, the demographic of the buyers, the property itself. If you have a unique product with little to nothing comparable in the market, you believe you've got a large pool of buyers, then absolutely auction is the way to go.
Sure.
However, if you have your stock standard 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, your demographic is going to be first home buyers. I think a lot of first home buyers can lack confidence in the auction process. I think private treaty is the way to go. I think a big misconception that a lot of owners do have is that if I sell my property via private treaty, then is the buyer going to negotiate down from the asking price? I don't think that's true. 2 out of the 3 last properties that I've sold have actually sold above the asking price.
A private treaty?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So it's all about the strategy and pricing the property right from the get-go.
And matching the right strategy to the right property and the right vendor.
That's exactly right, yeah. So what are some challenges that you think buyers are facing in the market at this point?
I think the current level of increased interest rates is hurting their borrowing capacity.
Yeah, I'm finding that.
There's definitely a shortage of good quality stock. And look, I think also buyers tend to struggle sometimes in understanding our price expectations.
Yeah. And
agents have only got ourselves to blame because we often communicate prices in totally different ways.
Yeah, that's right.
I would like to see a little bit more consistency in the way that agents present a price to buyers.
Yeah.
And I also think that buyers respond and move with confidence when they're given a direct answer to what should be a simple question.
Yeah, absolutely. Last question, what 3 tips do you give an owner if they want to achieve maximum results?
Don't take shortcuts on digital marketing.
Yep, agreed.
If it needs it, give it a coat of paint.
Yep, definitely.
And if you're selling a property with tenants in place, sometimes it's worthwhile incentivizing the tenants to make sure the property presents its absolute best.
3 very, very valid points. Yeah. Thank you for today. I hope today's given some valuable insight to everyone watching.
Yeah. And let's look forward to the second half of 2024.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thanks, Jane.